Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany, and I wrote a little something for you while sitting and staring at the sunset that was just absolutely stunning last night. Looking at the ocean, the surfers. We have a major heat wave going here. So, you know, when it's like really hot during the day and you might not like that it's that hot during the day, but then at night when the cool breeze comes, but it's still really warm out. I call those ice cream nights where it's like a perfect night to like get an ice cream and walk on the beach. But let's be honest, if you've been listening to me a while, you know, it's always a good night for ice cream. I have continued on with the Ben & Jerry's habit, by the way. We have not stopped. I feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm sick of it, so that's good. Getting close, unless they come out with some amazing new flavor, because there's only certain flavors I like. So there's progress there. There's progress. Oh my God. I mean, I literally I basically am throwing out a half a pint because all I do is pick out the chunks of cookie dough, the peanut butter cups. What's the other one? Oh, is it Chubby Hubby? No, it's Chunky Monkey with the walnuts and the fudge chips. And then I leave all the rest. So it's really not that bad for you. I mean, it's not that many calories, right? God, you know what I noticed is different about me? I just don't fucking care about calories anymore. And you want to know what? I look leaner than I've looked in a very long time. I just don't care. And that doesn't mean I sit here and like gorge myself, but I used to spend so much time obsessing over that shit. And this gets to my point of what I wrote for you today. The amount of time we waste obsessing and caring about stupid stuff is a crime. Every time we give our time, attention, and energy to people, situations, and things that either don't deserve it or are completely out of our control, we rob ourselves of the beautiful life we desire. It'd be fair for me to say that I've given away years of my precious life with overthinking, overanalyzing, and trying to control stuff that is completely out of my hands. And time is one thing we can't get back, no matter how much money we make or who we know. No wonder you're exhausted and you feel like you don't have time to start that business, grow that business, launch that podcast, create that program, write that book, or even luxuriate. You have given all your fucks away and have saved none for yourself. The good news is while you can't get that lost time back, you can make a pact with yourself today that you will start preserving at least some of your fucks for yourself and your dreams. Because to go from giving them all away and saving none for yourself to like fuck hoarding, that's not realistic. So I just want you to save some for yourself and your dreams. There are some people in your life who will not like it. In fact, they may even feel like you're being mean. You're different. You're abandoning them. This is how you will know you're on the right track. It won't feel comfortable at first. In fact, you'll probably feel like you're a horrible, selfish person, but you're not. And the fact you're worried about upsetting other people, hurting other people, disappointing other people, that just proves right there you're innately not a bad person. When we don't save any of those fucks for ourselves, we end up hating life, being resentful, and turn into a shell of our former selves. You might be in that place right now. And this is not good for anyone in your life. If all you want is to be happy and to make money doing something meaningful and fulfilling that you love, then you must be willing to practice giving zero fucks to the people and things that don't deserve them. This includes the people you love. Your brain will tell you that if you really care, then you'd give all the fucks. But if you want the best for everyone, including you, then you must save a daily dose of them for yourself. At this point, you may be wondering, what the hell, Tiff, does this have to do with identifying your ideal client so I can attract more of them to me and make major money? Well, this had everything to do with it. If what I wrote to you, which it's not even an if, I already know, resonated with you, where you're like, yes, that's so true. I give too many of my fucks away and I don't reserve enough for myself and I am exhausted. And oftentimes I do feel like a shell of my former self. Like I don't even recognize myself, or I feel numb, or every day is like Groundhog's Day and I'm in a hamster wheel of overthinking, overanalyzing crap in my brain. And it is because I give too many away and I don't save enough for myself. And that is a choice. And you really felt that. I know you did, because I've identified you. I've identified my ideal client, you. I have made it a point, an honor, a privilege to learn more and more and get to know you on a very deep emotional level. Not just, do you have kids or don't you have kids? Are you a coffee drinker or not? How do you take your eggs? I mean, I am interested in all of those things. Believe me, I like knowing all the details. I need a sip of coffee, by the way. Oh, hello. Okay. There's some eye candy going by. Surfer eye candy alert. Sorry, I got distracted. So I know. And just like with people you care about, a friend, a new relationship, it could be a family member, it could be your eyebrow lady. It could be, your gym friends. It could be your favorite cycle instructor. When you care about someone, right, you want to get to know more about them. You make a point of noticing what makes them smile, what makes them laugh. You like knowing what they do for work. You like knowing, do they have kids? What are their favorite activities? Isn't it fun to know what really makes people feel happy? Is it that they love going to TJ Maxx? Is it that they love finding a great deal? Is it international travel? And those things are all beautifully important. That's how we get to know people better and better. That's how trust and intimacy is built. But what I teach you guys with my emotional-based sales techniques that I'm so well known for is if you want to build that trust, especially online, because there's no way we can meet the amount of people we can impact and help and meet online. There's no way we could do that in real life. We'd be exhausted, even if you're like an extrovert freak. It's not possible. So if you want to not only attract those strangers online, but get them to pretty quickly lean into you, trust you, have rapport with you, and then buy from you, you've got to go deep. And I wanted you to hear an example of that when I just read to you. I went deep. I talked about exactly how I know what you feel, what you're dealing with, what your life looks like, your behaviors, what you do. But I wasn't talking at you, if you noticed. I shared that I did that, right? I shared that. What did I say? I shared how much time, years of my precious life I've given away. And that's how we make sure we're not talking at someone or making people feel like we're talking down to them or judging them, is you have to be vulnerable and you have to go first. You can't expect people to be vulnerable and DM you and ask you questions, apply to work with you, join your programs if they don't see your humanness first on a deep level. Especially those of you who are in niches in the mental health space, mindset, healing, even fitness and fat loss, right? You're in a more of a intimate space. You're going to have to open that door wide open first and keep it open and invite them in for coffee and invite them in for snacks and invite them to sit down and hang out. You're going to have to keep doing that for people to warm up to you and for people to continue to lean in. That's what we're trying to do. People are either clearly I need more coffee. People are either leaning into you or leaning out with every piece of content you put out, with everything you say, with every episode. My coffee is so good this morning, by the way. And we want them to continue to lean in. We want to be that safe space. We want to make sure that the people we're trying to help and serve feel like, oh my God, Tiffany really gets me. That's why you're listening right now, whether you're a new listener, a longtime listener, or someone told you about the show. It's because it's like, you know what? God, Tiffany's refreshing. She actually gets it. You know, she's wildly entertaining, but she gets it and she speaks the truth. And it feels good when someone gets you, because we go through life a lot of the time going, does anyone really get me? I mean, you're complex as fuck. You're a highly sensitive person, right? As am I. You usually care way too much about things and you wish you didn't care so much, but it's just how you're wired and it's just who you are. There's several key things you do not love in your life right now, and you feel kind of trapped in them. You feel kind of stuck in them. And you don't want to be in that way. It could be a job. It could be a marriage. It could be family shit. It could be dynamics with your kids. It could be where you live. It could be health stuff. And you want to have options and freedom in your life. You want to have the freedom to pick up and go to Europe with you when you want, whether it's on a solo trip or with your family. You want to have the option to work from home in your 3-day well-worn pajamas. You want to feel like you know you're making a difference in people's lives and getting well paid for it. You would love to have your business working for you and you not working for it. So you can create a business and a lifestyle that works around things that make you happy. I know what you want because I'm a version of you. And that's one of the biggest tricks, I guess we could say, that I teach inside my emotional-based sales techniques, inside my programs, and inside my Posse membership. Your ideal client is a version of you, like attracts like. Over and over and over again. I end up shaking my head when I'm working with a client or someone DMs me, or a listener. I get beautiful reviews from you guys on the show. Please leave, by the way, an Apple Podcast review, and you can leave Spotify reviews now as well if that's what you're listening on. This is what makes the show grow. Besides you guys sharing it in your Instagram stories and recommending it to friends, which would really mean the world to me. I want to get to 600 reviews, and there's no reason with the thousands and thousands of downloads per episode that your asses can't help a sister out, okay? You don't have to pay for this stuff, and I know how good it feels for me to pour into you, whether you're in the shower right now, whether you're getting ready in the morning, whether it's your daily walk, whether you're pumping iron at the gym, or you're cooking 17 different versions of the same meal for your picky family. It would really mean a lot, seriously. And it's really helpful for those who work behind the scenes here at ProjectME to read those, and they do. It makes them go, God, I'm really working for like a bigger cause here, a bigger reason. And it gives them a lot of purpose and delight. So I'd really appreciate that. You can leave your name or Instagram handle in your review, and I would love to share it and shout it out. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. You don't have to put it. So you will attract exactly who you are, and you'll also attract where you're at. So some of you are like, oh shit, I don't want to attract more crazy. You will. And that's okay. That doesn't mean these aren't good people, because you're a good person, right? I know you're a good person because, again, like attracts like. But it's funny when I'm like in my Virgo neurotic, fear-based spin, I end up attracting a lot of people who are in high anxiety, overthinkers, white knuckling stuff. I end up attracting people like that. And I just laugh because it's a great mirror. And I also am very well equipped to help those of you who have crazy brain. I know exactly how to center you, focus you, and get you guys clear so you can actually get stuff done. But you are just at a space in your life, in your business, in your journey, you're a little further ahead, or you're a lot further ahead. A lot of you guys listening, I am financially a lot further ahead in entrepreneurship, in wealth than where you're at. But I remember what it was like very vividly starting a business. I know what it's like because on my worst days, that's where I can really channel. So that's a great trick, is that when you're having a bad day, you might have it now, it might be all the time. When I'm having a bad day now, my emotions and my thoughts and my default mechanisms are pretty damn similar to you guys. I have the same fears of, can I really do this? Am I crazy for doing this? Is this going to work? Am I going to fail? Am I going to lose my money? Who do I think I am? The money in the bank hasn't changed that. I do have more evidence that I know I can do it. But that doesn't take away from those crazy days. So use those days and those thoughts that you have. Trust that that's your ideal clients having those, instead of you shaming yourself for having those. Like, who am I to, coach people or teach people or motivate people when I have these thoughts? Well, you're human. You're going to have those. So I want you to use those. But you might want to listen back to what I read to you. What can you write? What can you write deeply to your ideal client who you need to look at like your dearest, bestest friend? Maybe it's that you look at it like you're writing it to yourself 5 years ago. Or maybe it's like your 30-year-old self or your 35-year-old self. Because that person you know pretty well, I hope. And write to that person. Speak to that person. Sometimes when I'm doing podcasts for you guys, I shut my eyes. I close my eyes so that I'm not distracted and I can really zone in on who exactly I'm talking to. Picture one person, not a whole collective group of people. I'm not sitting here picturing the 12 to 17,000 of you listening. I'm just picturing one person. No, not naked in the shower. Well, sometimes. But one person, one woman, even though I have a ton of male listeners, right? It's very hard to imagine things if we don't imagine the sex. So I picture one woman, because you can be a male and have the same thoughts, right? That's why I attract a lot of male clients. It's the same exact thoughts, the same exact core desires. And I want to leave you with an exercise. I want you to write down and keep a running list of all the crazy thoughts you have in your head. On your bad days, on your crazy moments, I want you to keep a running list in your notes app. And then I want you to create a separate list of what are the opposite of those crazy thoughts, right? If you're thinking things like, God, no one understands me, I feel so alone. What's the desire connected to that? The desire connected to that is you are yearning for connection. You're yearning for people who understand you. You're yearning to feel heard. And I want you to create content and speak to that one person based off that on as deep of a level as you heard here today. And there is no way you are not going to magnetically connect and help so many people from coming from this space This is the secret. This is what's responsible for over $180 million of sales transactions now. This is it. This is why we don't have to sell. This is the emotional-based sales techniques, where we speak to people's emotions. We don't use trickery. We don't need to use manipulation. We don't need to be these crazy, buy now, like extroverted wildness. Unless that's fun for you, that's fine. We don't need to use, some mindfuckery language or FOMO. We don't have to do any of that. We just need to let our person know, our ideal client know, like we deeply get them. We hear them, we understand them, and let them know how we can help them and speak with conviction. If you want to really go deeper on this and learn everything you need to know to scale to at least $15,000 a month consistently, we currently have a new membership bonus sale going on inside my ProjectME Posse group coaching membership, where you get live weekly trainings from me and other special guest experts. You get access that's unlimited to a membership portal with over 180 prior trainings on everything from how to do reels, TikToks, hashtags, batching content, sales pages, writing captions. What goes in a caption? What do you put in Instagram stories? What platforms you should be on? How to create a freebie email list. I could go on and on. They're all in there for you, straight up TIFF style. And then we have a highly collaborative and engaged private Facebook group where I encourage you guys to be on each other's podcast, do Facebook, Instagram lives together, and work together to cross-pollinate your followings and really ignite your brands. And it's such a beautiful space. It's only $3.33 a day. You're getting for free my content creation made easy bonus. And this is my course. The only way you can get this is when I offer this bonus. The course is not available for separate sale. It has a value of $297. Straight up teach you how to create profitable content that actually converts into cash. So you're getting that just for joining. It's limited because we only have a certain number of new member spots that come available because people end up staying in the posse for many, many months and years. This is month to month, so you can cancel anytime. You could join for the first month, get the course, and cancel. You're not going to want to, but if you wanted to do that, you could. I don't want anyone in there who's not excited to be in there. So just swipe up. It's in the show notes, or you can go to projectmewithtiffany.com/ProjectMePosse, projectmewithtiffany.com/ProjectMePosse. Again, there are limited number of new membership spots because I keep this to a small, intimate size group in order for you to have the feeling of a group coaching membership. This is not some membership that has thousands and thousands of people where you get lost. Like, we know when you're not around. So you also get accountability with this. So go check that out. Leave a 5-star written Apple Podcast or Spotify review, and let me know what you thought of the show. I'd love to see you actually following through and doing the homework I shared in this episode. Hey, if you want to make the money, honey, if you want those zeros in your bank account like I have in mine, listen, I didn't do this episode just for filler. I'm telling you the goods right here. So go do the thing. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.